Hello and welcome. I'm Charles Ayete. To our first story, government's decision to cut quarterly expenditure estimate by 20% has been described as a major investor booster for the Ghanaian economy. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, on Wednesday said the reduction in spending by institutions that draw funding from the budget will be tied to revenue mobilization. Speaking on PM Express, the business edition, economist Professor Robert Obeng and investment analyst Mike Coppler said the move by the Finance Minister will boost investor confidence and stabilize the economy.
We need to cut the fat in terms of what we spend our monies on. Okay? There seems to be, well, potentially, there could be some fat around our expenditures. And of course, it is why there is always this talk about corruption and the need to reduce corruption. But the second has to do with the reprioritization of our expenditures. Okay, to relook, take a step back, relook at the things we are spending our monies on, and ask whether we are getting the highest dividends in terms of returns for what we are spending our monies on. So that is important, and that will happen with this policy measure that the minister has announced. But of course, you cannot also forget the revenue side of things. And so, whether e-levy or not, we need to improve our revenue efforts.
Businesses do not have too much leeway. You are right. I mean, once your country is downgraded, it's an automatic. Yeah, but that's how the world works. I mean, the first thing people look at, where is this deal coming from? That's the first thing. It's from this country. What's their rating? Okay, before they then begin to dive in to see what the fundamentals are. Okay, so what businesses can do, and you are right. I mean, there are businesses in this country that are able to get lower interest rates better than what
government, better rating than government.
Obviously. Not the rating, but in terms of rates.
Yeah.
Okay, and what they do is basically they look at the receivables that they are getting. Probably they have some export receivables, or their clients are blue chip clients who have a better rating. So then they use the receivables as a benchmark to attract cheaper funds. Okay, I mean, that's the only way that business can go around it. But once you are not able to demonstrate to financiers or investors that your income is not intrinsically linked to anything that is government related, or you have a dedicated flow which is independent of the economy per se, then you are in trouble. Then it means that you are subject to the ratings that the government basically has. Otherwise, I mean, the way out is to use what we call securitized structures. Okay, so you are looking at income. So, for instance,
can you break that down?
Cocoa Board. So, for instance, Cocoa Board. Okay, so Cocoa Board borrows what, LIBOR plus 1 or LIBOR plus 2. Okay, government is borrowing LIBOR plus 7, LIBOR plus 6. Why? Because Cocoa Board's receivables, when they sell the cocoa outside, they sell to the likes of Barikadi, they sell to what do we call it, Cadbury. So those companies that they sell to, okay, are AAA companies.
Let's now delve into the mining industry, because royalties from the quarrying and construction sectors will receive some significant boost this year as another source of income to the country. This is an assurance from the Chief Executive of the Minerals Income and Development Fund, Edward Nana Yao Cranton, who believes that the proceeds from the sector has been woefully inadequate. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Cranton said the Minerals Income and Development Fund will pay critical attention to the sector this year to rake in the desired revenue.
In the apart from a lot of emphasis is on the gold royalties, you know, but we're looking at minerals. So examples, even granite are actually minerals. We are looking at silver, we are looking at manganese, we are looking at limestone. These are all areas that MEF has to concentrate on. We don't have really much of a problem with the large gold mining producers. I think they are in line with their payments or their royalties, but Ghana is losing a lot from the other minerals. So, for example, if you look at the quarrying sector, royalties that we collected was about 2.8 million. And as you're well aware, quarrying has a direct correlation with construction and with economic development. So looking at an you align that with an ASAP report in 2021, which says that even in the worst case scenario, worst case scenario, Ghana should be bringing in about 28 million from the quarry sector alone in terms of royalties, but we're just bringing in 2.8 million. So there's a wide gap. So these are areas that we need to concentrate on.
Now, AngloGold Ashanti has promised to extend support to small businesses in Obuasi under a comprehensive pandemic management initiative. The mining company has observed that daunting repercussions of the COVID-19 pandemic on the local economy, hence intervention. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku has more in this report.
AngloGold Ashanti Obuasi Mine, in collaboration with the German Corporation for International Development, GIZ, has launched a community health program to address economic and health resilience of members of mining communities. The partnership with GIZ will focus on supporting local businesses to thrive in times of COVID-19. The community health program is being implemented alongside the 10-year socio-economic development plan of AngloGold Ashanti. The initiative is under the theme Comprehensive Pandemic Management in Catchment Communities in Times of COVID-19 and Beyond. Emmanuel Bedu is Senior Manager Sustainability at AngloGold Ashanti.
We are going to extend support to small businesses in Obuasi to be able to develop business continuity programs still under this pandemic management. So it's a very unique position we found ourselves. We definitely will have an objective and opportunity to improve what was lacking, or what did we lack. Obviously there were lack of equipment, there were lack of PPEs. So in this project we are seeking to build that capacity. Within the project, we are also looking at supporting expansion of facilities where necessary.
GIZ Develop PPP program has been partnered with 2 other major mining firms in the Western and Ashanti regions to build economic and health resilience. The partnership envisages an improved medical care, increased health literacy within the Obuasi Mines catchment community, with proactive preparedness against future global epidemic. Mary Bonsu, technical advisor for GIZ Develop PPP program, elaborated key objectives the project seeks to achieve.
It's not only Obuasi, there are other mining companies involved, the YAG as part of the members, because we have certain criteria we look for, and we also come in with funds, they're coming with funds. So we want companies who can have the right support, who have the right mindset, who have the willingness that we come together and put our resources together to push the communities forward. Why the mining communities? Because they live in a very deplorable state in the mining communities. We have vulnerable people, and they are already doing a great job on these vulnerable people in the communities. But we also want to push in and put in more resources.
The 3-year project seeks to support the establishment of an infectious disease and testing center and holding rooms for 8 public health facilities in Obuasi. Director of Obuasi East Health Directorate, Delphine Bogblovo, described the intervention as timely and would augment healthcare delivery in Obuasi.
COVID hits the whole country and Obuasi massively, and even though there were some emergency preparedness plan, it wasn't so comprehensive. So we all scrambled from the very beginning. It was with time that we got our footing. This project that is going to help us really have a comprehensive plan for emergency preparedness is going to help Obuasi to be ready for any emergencies.
From Obuasi for JoyNews, Emmanuel Bright-Kweku reporting.
You're still watching The Marketplace. The University of Ghana is set to hold the 73rd annual year at New Year School and conference being organized by the School of Continuing and Distance Education College of Education. The event, which is slated for the 25th and 27th of January, will focus on the footprint of COVID-19 on the Ghanaian economy. We're joined via Zoom by Chairman of the Technical Committee of the conference, Andrews Jack Dotsey, and Director of the conference, Dr. Simon Peter Hewoti. We're grateful that you could both join us. I want to start, any of you could pick it up. First of all, what informed the selection of the topic for, this year's, New Year's School? Kindly unmute so we could hear you better.
Yes. Thank you for having us this afternoon. What informed the decision on the theme for the conference situated in the current global COVID-19 pandemic that had actually dislocated and affected all economies around the globe. And we're looking at Ghana's readiness to be able to revitalize the economy and reposition itself for growth. I think this is a key issue that has informed the choice for the theme. Fortunately for us, we are in partnership with the Ministry of Finance that is rolling out the Ghana Cares Bantapa program, which has key elements of advocacy and partnership. So how are we preparing ourselves to reinstate and reensure that the local economy and livelihood is restored, and the industrial growth for which we are all seeking to achieve is become a thing of reality. And so this is the reason behind the theme for the 73rd Annual New Year School. Maybe Dr. Aitu may want to add a few things.
Yes, so it will also afford us the opportunity to have a review of what has happened since COVID-19 hit us. Thank you.
Okay, but of course, it's interesting, the selection of the topic, exploring the blueprints of COVID-19. Help us understand how, this could be interlaced in the entire academic, mainstreaming of the university to ensure that students are being trained out after the entire program with the knowledge in mind of COVID-19 and how best to, impact solutions in their respective careers.
All right, thank you very much. Over the years, the Annual New Year School, this is a 73rd edition, 7 decades of interrogating critical national issues to bring to the fore practical, realistic, strategic solutions that inform government's policy and address national issues. The New Year School is primarily focused on building consensus and rallying the Ghanaian behind the national agenda. And so you would understand that building a nation requires the input of all of us, primarily all stakeholders. So the New Year School affords all stakeholders from political leaders to business leaders, religious leaders to the world of academia, civil society, and traditional leaders inclusive. The youth are not left out of this enterprise. The youth there's a youth school that the Minister of Finance, Ken Oforiatta himself, is mentoring, and is going to focus on the business and opportunities that are available for youth enterprise in Ghana.
Great.
What are the issues? And so we are really focusing on building the next generation that will take care and accept and situate itself with all the capacity and empower them to lead this nation in this 21st century.
Help us understand the speakers lined up for, this particular engagement.
The speakers, we have keynote speakers in the person of the World Bank Country Director, and we also have Dr. Julia Twackley, an accomplished physician leader globally. They will set the tone as keynote speakers at the opening on the 25th, that will be opened by His Excellency, the President of the Republic. We have also the academia who would be providing support. We have speakers from civil society, speakers from the business world. Vanderpoy, an accomplished business entrepreneur, will be speaking.
All right.
Dr. Japong, an accomplished business personality in Ghana, will be speaking. We have a key of them. Mrs. Kwesi Yankee will be speaking at the youth school. Honorable Ken Oforiatta himself will be speaking. We have a lineup of expertise who would interrogate these issues alongside Dr. Priscilla Chumesi, Bafo of the Economics Department, University of Ghana. And then we have Dr. Abu Sakara, an agronomist, would also be at this platform.
Indeed, and of course, we're looking forward to having that particular platform, which will be live on Joy FM actually on Tuesday. So please make a day for that. We're grateful, Chairman of the Technical Committee of the conference, Andrews Jack Doche, and Director of the conference, Dr. Simon Peter Aheto. We're grateful to both of you for the update on the New Year School. Well, you're still watching The Marketplace. We're going for a short break. We're right back. Do stay with us. The Minister of Land and Natural Resources has bemoaned the lack of deployment of technology in Ghana's external timber market. Samuel Abujinapo says Ghana has the capacity to do more in international timber trade, but lacks the technology, of course, which is hampering performance. He was speaking at the launch of the digitalized property mark registration process and the Ghana electronic wood tracking system, of course, near Kumasi. My colleague Ohim Interior has more in this report.
A forest is the mainstay of over 2 million Ghanaians, mainly those in rural areas. As at October 2021, Ghana exported close to 249,000 cubic meters of timber, worth €113 million, with domestic trade accounting for over 392,000 cubic meters. Ghana, between 2019 and 2020, exported a total of 526,613 cubic meters of timber, worth over €266 million. The domestic market accounted for 678,406 cubic meters within the same period. According to Samuel Abujinapo, though available data shows a remarkable improvement, Ghana has capacity to do better.
Whereas the data shows a remarkable improvement in the sector over the years, we have the capacity and ability to do more. Consequently, acting on the instructions of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I commissioned a study aimed at revamping the timber industry to position the country to take its rightful place on the international timber markets. But even before the team finishes its work, we are aware that one of the challenges that has affected our country's performance on the international timber market is the lack of technology. The technological infrastructure for accessing the international market and attracting the requisite investment demand a level of sophistication that yesterday's systems and norms can no longer respond to.
Mr. Abujinapo reiterated the resolve of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources not to be left out of the country's digitization agenda, hence the implementation of aggressive digitization programs. According to him, some agencies under the ministry, including the Lands and Minerals Commission and the Forestry Commission, are introducing digitalized platforms. He described the digitalized property mark registration in the Ghana electronic wood tracking system by the Forestry Commission as unprecedented.
The Forestry Commission is making it possible to, again, from the comfort of your homes and offices, apply for the registration or renewal of property marks required for the cutting or felling of trees, and without a doubt will contribute immensely to improving service delivery in the management of our forests and wildlife heritage. This intervention is truly unprecedented and historic.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission, John Alote, says the new platforms developed by staff of the Commission will save time and improve service delivery.
Before this application, a contractor who, for instance, operates in 3 regions and 5 districts will have to go to all the 5 districts and physically present the required documents and obtain clearance at all the districts. Averagely, information from the industry indicates that it takes about 2 months to go through this process. With this new application, it will be possible to renew this property mark in a day at 1 district of your choice.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohiminteria reporting.
A €6 million waste-to-energy plant will supply power to the local ginger processing company in the Echimua, South municipality of the Ashanti region. The 400 kilowatt facility, known as the hybrid PV biogas, will convert 12 tons of waste into biofertilizer and energy daily. The local assembly is convinced the project will, of course, when completed, will reduce the cost of waste management and generate revenue. We have more in this report.
The waste-to-energy plant, started 2 years ago, sits on 17 acres of land with huge economic prospects. It is seen as one of the remedies to Ghana's waste management and power generation challenges, whilst reducing the health hazards from pollution and climate change. The project will create 1,000 direct and indirect jobs to reduce rural unemployment. Contractor to the construction firm, FV Construction Limited, Frederick Ajman, gave details of the project.
There is solar, there is biogas, and there is a pyrolysis machine. As you can see, there are solar panels on some of the structures. There is also the digester under construction that would receive the municipal solid waste that will be converted to biogas through digestion, and then it will be converted to energy through the combined heat and power. Then there's a pyrolysis machine that would also convert plastics that will be sorted out into oil, and that will be part of the energy. And so all of it will come together to form the 400 kilowatts.
The project, when completed, will also serve as a training center for waste management and solar energy sourcing. Frederick Ajimang says environmental issues are highly prioritized.
We are ensuring that there is no stench. There's also the lab that constantly checks parameters such as E. coli, BOD, COD, organic matter content and stuff to ensure that whatever is coming in or going out meets the standards of EPA or even WHO. So this waste is covered. It moves to the sorting area and is sorted where the plastic goes to the pyrolysis, and then the organic straight goes into the digester. And the digester is closed. It's a closed dome. So you don't have any stench or anything that has any public health effect on it.
Municipal Chief Executive Michael Amwewuku says the project will supply power to a local ginger processing company to commence production. He said the government is working with private power producers to connect power generated from the plant to the national grid.
The challenge that we have is government's decision not to enter into a PPP agreement with this power producing company. So for now, we're actually in talks with Energy Ministry to ensure that at least we give this particular facility that exemption. Because this particular facility is also supposed to serve as a research institution where at the end of the project, the Germans would have trained about between 5 and 10 PhD students.
Well, that'll be it for the marketplace. For more news, do log on to myjawline.com. I'm Charles Ayete. Pleasure serving you the entire week. Let's do the same next week. For me and the rest of the production team, many thanks for watching.